So you want to build a studio that looks like this, but you don't think you have the space. Well, stick around. Let's talk about how I did this. Hey, what's up? It's Dennis, the guy again. Sitting in the I don't know, the drum space for the time being, even though drumming hurts. But some of you that follow me, you may have noticed I bounce a lot, and I do. I've still got my woodworking, I still do that, but I'm always creating. That's my whole goal. As I've said in some of my other videos, I am not a massive creator. I've got, I think, 63 subscribers currently on YouTube. I guess I'm not consistent enough, but there's lots of other things too. But I'm not sponsored. Everything that I have, I've had to buy or build. So I tend to make videos that are more of the typical content creator or typical home creator, because we're not all filthy rich with corporate sponsors. As much as it would be awesome to have some, I would love it. But a lot of times we look at these giant things like, oh my God, I could never do that. And nobody really realizes how simple a lot of the techniques can be done. Like, for instance, this used to be my motorcycle parking spot in my garage. I've got a two car, fully insulated, heated and cooled garage. It's 27 or 23 wide by 25 or 26 deep. I don't remember the exact numbers on it. It's a pretty big garage. And at one point I had my pool table in here. I've still got my bar that you've seen some of my other videos at, which will still be utilized for filming. But in this section of it was my motorcycle parking, because my office is just on the other side here. And on the side behind the camera, that is workshop plus truck parking. But I decided I needed someplace better for the drums and someplace to kind of deaden the sound so I can actually make content and listen to the videos as I'm learning how to play. And I decided last week to build this room out for it. And paneling's already been there for my other videos. Carpet was already down. So what I ended up having to do was build some acoustical panels. I've got the ones that you can see on the wall, and I've got 3 more up above me on the ceiling in the cloud. I have, instead of buying them, I was going to go with moving blankets just to kind of deaden the outside area some. But I realized that I had a gazebo that had came down last winter, and I just never replaced it. But when I threw it all out, I had privacy panels that were still good, and I kept them, thinking, well, if I put another gazebo up, I'll use those instead of buying new ones. Well, what they also work really well for is pleated sound curtains as well, because of course, I'm not making it a recording studio. It's just kind of deaden some of the echo. And they work great for that, so I've got those around the outside of it. And then, of course, the drum kit. My lights, I've got my basic video lights that I've had. These were, I forgot the name of one. My hair light or exit light to my left is, I'm going to say it's a newer little adjustable LED small panel, about a 5x7. Then I've got my main key light here is just a 2 foot by 3 foot constant light LED softbox. I don't do video that much. And then the accent lights above me, you can't see it, but directly above my head, I actually have, it's a 4-light par light setup that I just got on some constant lights now instead of using it for a DJ or full motion and moving the lights around on it, just to throw some accent light back on. But everything outside of the actual Johns Manville fire and soundproofing mineral wool insulation that I have in the acoustic panels is stuff I already had. All 1x4 pieces of wood built into the 15-inch by 4-foot square frames. Wrapped the back of it with some landscape fabric that I used for my garden earlier in the season. And in the front was just a couple black flat bed sheets from Walmart. I think cost me $20 for 2 of them, and that wrapped it plus staples. The point to this video is to any of the other people that are struggling to get started in content creation. It's rough. We're not going to hit to the big players because right now, as we all know, every algorithm favors the big channels. YouTube makes more money that way. The content people make more money. The sponsors make more money, and they're keeping it all tight. That's why YouTube's made it so hard for smaller creators to ever get outside just being a small creator, which is why we also always beg for those likes, follows, and watch times. You don't even have to subscribe if you don't want to. It definitely helps, but those watch times really helps, especially your small creators. Now, your big ones are going to yell, they're going to cry, and I understand that that's their whole business. That is their livelihood. So they hate it when they see their views taken away. And I guess I would kind of understand that if I was them as well. However, the platform's big enough. Make room for the other people to come up too. So my goal there is to just basically say, if you know small creators, throw them a like, watch one of their videos. Watch a couple of their videos. You got something else to do, let it play in the background. Let it go on repeat. Just give them the view time. Let's help each other out on that. But you don't need to get discouraged on what you've got around you. This looks amazing on film. And it's literally just a corner of my garage that I've dedicated now to this. And it works. It's not the biggest, it's not the best, but I don't think most people would realize it unless I put the intro in showing you what the other side of the garage looks like, which looks worse than it normally does because a lot of that stuff was here, but that's how we clean, right? Just move it from one side to the other and put a curtain over it. We won't see it anymore. And then for my equipment, there was no new equipment bought for this endeavor, well, except for the drums themselves. I've already had the Rode Wireless Go 2 mics, which is what I'm currently recording this on now. I've got it on a homemade magnetic clip behind my shirt. So far, I found that gives me the best audio. Still learning video and audio. I had the lights already. The camera that I'm filming it on is my Nikon Z6 II. Currently paired with the Tamron 28-75 2.8. Amazing Z-mount lens, by the way. If you're only going to buy one lens to have on your camera at any given time, that is the lens I would recommend. It is phenomenal. It's fast focusing. Shutter speed is up. Fast focusing. Jesus, I can't even think straight today. The zoom range on it's fairly tight. It's only a 28-75. However, just outside your perfect portrait range at 85, it's great. Your 50 millimeter for street photography, it's a great lens. If you're only going to buy one lens for your mirrorless, go with that one. They make it for the Sony, they make it for Canon, and now they make it for the Nikon as well. And it's a lot cheaper than the Nikon version of it, and by half. And I think it's a little bit better. But hey, if you're a small creator, the point here is it doesn't take much at all to make a small room. The curtains that I've got, they're hung up, let's see. This side, I've got them hung up on an actual backdrop light stand that I've got the panel hung to. On this whole side, on this side of it, I have a couple pieces of conduit that I had sitting around and made a wood frame to get it hung down from the garage ceiling just so they kind of hang and can be pleated. The moral is, it doesn't matter what you start with. You can make anything you've got look and sound great. The biggest thing is, that I'm hoping is coming across in this as well, is being consistent and your audio. Audio and lighting is your biggest ones. Now, I'm using an actual camera and an external microphone. If all you have is your iPhone or your Android, and if it's anything newer than the last 5 years, yeah, put some wireless earbuds in and record on that. It's going to be just as fine, if not better sometimes. You ain't got to worry about color correction and all that fun stuff. And you don't have to bring it in any editor. Use CapCut or Video Leap app right on your phone. A lot of my TikTok videos are edited that way because it's easier for me just to record that already in the portrait orientation and edit it right in CapCut, Video Leap, add some effects, and send it off to the cloud and be done with it. You don't need a lot of high-end equipment. Just like my previous videos when it comes to camera gear itself. You don't need the newest and the greatest and the most expensive to take killer photos. You don't need the newest and the greatest and all the fun stuff to make videos either. You can use what you've already got. And that's one of the key points. Me, I'm a little bit different in my head. Some people calls it I'm a little messed up in the head. I call it ADHD brain. I have a motto, go big or go home at all times. So if I'm going to do something, I kind of go all out doing it. I think that's part of my endorphin hit as well, is the creative process overall, not just the final result. Building it out, thinking of how I want it laid out, watching it evolve as I do it is one of the best things that really gets me going. And then sometimes I get bored after that and I'll move on to build something else. Other times I'll really lean into it, like now. I've done this for many years and I come back to it, fall off, come back to it. And this time I am sticking with it. So that's going to be the journey now. It's still going to be photography. It's going to be watching me hopefully get better at playing the drums after my knee surgery. Hopefully watch me get better at videography, and all my filmmaker friends out there. They're finally going, "You're going to do it finally?" Because for about 25 years, most of them have told me every time we've done production stills and I worked on set with them, I should do video. And I've told them I hate video because I didn't know how to do video. I don't know how to do audio. Learning how to mix it is a whole other process. But currently that's tripping the endorphin, spigot in my brain. So it's something new to learn, and that's what I'm going to do. And there's going to be a lot of other stuff along the way. So I'm kind of rebranding the channel, as well as not being very singular in nature, but more creative. Let's build stuff. Let's be creative. Let's engage with each other. And let's support and move on and keep moving forward in life. Because at the end of the day, all we've got are ourselves and whoever might be watching on the other side of the camera, and you never know who they are. So if you are watching it, I say thank you. If you're thinking about starting the channel, do it. If you're thinking about trying to make content, do it. Use whatever you have in your hand right now. You want to be a photographer, take that phone, go out and start taking pictures. Don't worry about what anybody else says or does, because the only person you need to compare yourself to is who you were yesterday and the shot you took last. Not the one 10 years ago, not the one that you may take tomorrow, or the one Billy Bob, John Paul took yesterday. Nope, ignore them. It's hard, but just get out there and create. I kind of rambled on this one. I apologize. I'm just kind of all over the place in the head. But I figured, why not try to be a little creative in a video and give a little back into it and take it from there. Anybody's got questions on how built anything, I'll be happy to show you. I didn't film any of it because, quite honestly, making those is what sent my knee over the deep end. Because of who I am as a person, I guess. It's just, I ignored the pain that had been there for months, and then that process killed it. But other than that, I can walk you through anything else and answer any questions you may have. Check me out. If you don't mind, give a like, a follow, subscribe would be awesome. Check me out on TikTok as well. I think Instagram is somewhere in my bio. I'm not very good at socials, keeping up on them. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, and let's create and build something together, shall we? Thank you. I'm gonna leave now. You can go ahead and fade to black on this as I slowly walk away and get out of frame.